bye, my baby, goodbye. I gotta get a going, bye, bye, my baby, goodbye. See you in the morning at a brand new day. Just a little kiss and I'll be on my way. Bye, 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 baby, goodbye. I get so lonely when we're apart.
I met my next guest in 1966 at a time when I was a little DJ. At a time when he was popular. Very popular recording artist, perhaps the most popular in Australia. But 10 years prior to that, Col Joye had been pumping out the hits from the 1950s, 1960s. His hits were playing, he was appearing on television, wooing the hearts of the teenage girls right around Australia. He was part of a stable of artists such as Little Patty and Judy Stone. And, well, the rest is history. 5 decades on. Col Joye, we say a very good afternoon to you.
G'day, Leigh. Good to talk to you.
You too, pal. How are you, mate?
Oh, listen, I'm fine. I woke up again.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful day up here in Sydney, and looks like winter's on its way out. So, no, everything's fine at this end of the world.
Col, I mentioned there in the intro, I first met you in 1966 at Goulburn. 2GN used to come down there a fair bit. And there was a girl in the library who had a bit of a passion for you. Her name was Kathy.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I remember Kathy.
You would?
Yeah,
you would?
In
the library?
Yes, in the library. I think she wore glasses.
She did. That's the one. That's the one.
Yes.
Don't ask me the surname.
I bumped into her many years later on.
Did you?
Somewhere, I think she moved up to Sydney. I'm not sure what her movements were, but Goulburn, I've been as cold in Goulburn as I have been in London.
Well, I only spent 12 months there, and I moved up to Newcastle. But we sort of followed each other around a little bit, and you're always there to come on air at times and have a chat. And then I was on 3AK down here in Melbourne, and you often would join me there too on air and have some reminiscing times with us. You've had a great career, mate, and you're still performing, aren't you?
Oh, well, not very much nowadays. I do the odd occasion. I do some senior citizen shows and so forth. But my time now is I never know when I'm going to be in Sydney or in Australia, because every now and again they send me places, and so it's hard to book ahead and take any bookings, and then suddenly not be able to do them. And they get cross. They get cross, Leigh.
Who sends you to where and why?
Oh, my office. I'm surrounded by girls.
Yeah.
And that's
that's been a problem all your life.
Yeah, but these ones direct me.
Yes.
My sister Carol, who's married to Sandy Scott, she looks after my books. She's the head shireen. But then again, you've got girls called wife. Yeah. Who says, and other ones called secretaries and other girls and so forth. So we're a pretty close-knit bunch. Yeah. But I usually do what I'm told, Leigh, because then I can't get into trouble. One day I decided I was the only one in the office, so I wrote something in, and then the next week I wrote something in, and I was going three places at once. And they said, if you ever do that again, we'll kill you. So I don't do it anymore. I just leave it be to them.
And you take that on the chin and you do what you're told. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Col, 1957, it seems a long time back now, but that's when your career started out there singing at suburban dances.
Yes, I did. Yes, we used to run our own dances. We were chief cook and bottle washer initially. My brother would sell the tickets on the door, and we had this old tin tub. Well, it wasn't old. It was. I don't think it was old. And I'd go and get a gallon of cordial, and I'd mix it up in that. And we'd play and when we were ready to start, we just locked the door. That was it. And the dance was on. If there was a fight, we'd down instruments and go and sort that out. And then we'd get back and carry on again. But as they got bigger, of course, we had dances that were holding like 1,500 people at a time. So we had to have a professional. We used to hire off-duty policemen, and/or the best ones were wrestlers.
Go on.
Yeah, the wrestlers. They didn't have a bout on, and I had up to 15 wrestlers one night, and I think they nearly all got beaten up because everybody joined the crooks. But you sort it out. You find out who the ringleaders are, and you either bar them or you give them a job to go on the door and collect tickets. And once you get them on side, you've got all their hangers on side too, and you've got an army. So we learned, Leigh. It was very successful for us, and we'd be working 4 or 5 dances a week, and so it was quite successful for us. We didn't care about what was happening anywhere else. It was our own little world, and rock and roll was new, and we were just enjoying ourselves.
Did you ever envisage that, 50 years later you'd be talking to me and you'd been singing all these wonderful hits and so on? Did you have any premonition that was going to happen to you?
Well, I had a spooky. What do you call a spooky? A clairvoyant. Yeah. That gave us our name, gave me my name of Col Joye.
Really?
Because she brought a promoter out to see us at a hotel we were working at, and of course we were doing real good business. The hotel was doing nothing. Then we sort of built it up so it was so big. So she brought him out to have a look at us, and he asked, would we do this big show? Johnny O'Keefe was on the show because John started about 18 months before us. But they called it Jazzarama, so it had people like Ray Price and his jazz band, and it was a whole mixture. And but we had to have a name for it because we were the KJ Quintet.
Ah, yeah.
And so we went home to her place in King's Cross, and after we'd finished working, and we decided we'd get it, because all the names were like Elvis Presley, Gene Vincent, Conway Twitty, and they all roll off the tongue names. And Colin Jacobson didn't go anywhere. And so we, around about 2:30, I said, well, you're not going to change my first name. Like Conway Twitty's, used to be Harold Jensen.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And Elton John was Reginald Dwight. and so I said, you've got to call me Colin or Cole. I said, because I'm not changing that. I said, I might get called late for dinner, and that'd be terrible. So we come up with Col Joye and the Playboys.
Yeah, the Playboys.
Said, well, that's it, Col Joye and the Playboys. And then she said, oh, wait a moment, I've just had a flash.
Yeah.
She said, you're extrovert, you're happy. What about Col Joye? Col Joye and the Joy Boys, and we'll put an E on the Joy. I said, that's it. At 3 o'clock in the morning, you can call me anything. But
what
I
a
had to get
story.
The 7 o'clock. No, I had to get the 7 o'clock train to go to work. I used to work at the jeweller shop. And so we came up with Col Joye and the Joy Boys, and we were going to change it, but we never did get around to it. But she also told me that when I forget the age that she told me, and she's since passed on, so I can't ask her. She said at a certain age, first of all, she said to me, oh, you're going to be as well known in Australia as Elvis Presley. Now, we were working in a pub, and how are we going to be? We had no recordings or anything like that. How are we going to be that? I was wondering what she was drinking. and so that went on, and after a while, when we had a few hit records, she rang me one day and said, remember I told you that you'd be as well known in Australia as Elvis Presley? I said, yeah, I do. She said, well, everybody that knows Elvis now knows Col Joye because your records are hits all over Australia. Well, I said, oh, yeah, okay. But she did tell me when I was a certain age that I'd be better known than I was, or something or other.
Yeah.
Now, I had a bad boat accident. I was laying in bed with a shirt full of broken ribs and so forth up in the hospital up at Redcliffe and in Queensland. And I was laying there and I'm thinking about what she told me. Then I thought, wow, Big Bopper and Gene and Buddy Holly and all them, they become better known after they died.
Yes.
And I thought I might have been reading her message wrong.
Well, at 80, you're still very much with us.
Leigh.
Oh,
it changed my life. It slowed me down in the boat racing or the car racing and
no more
silly things I used to do. So it changed my life. Yeah. So that's. But I never thought you don't think so far ahead. I mean, when you were working at 2GN, you think you'd end up where you was, and I mean, you've had more moves than Elvis.
Well, yes, that's right. Yeah, I'll move over for the next one too, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you don't sort of look ahead, because we just enjoyed every day and did what we enjoyed, what we loved doing.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you went on to a solo career after the Joy Boys, of course, and that was going to be quite outstanding for you. And we've just heard the clairvoyant told you all about those things, and it really came true. Have you got a favourite song? One of your favourites?
Oh, my favourite song today was one that I recorded, and you probably don't even have it. But when I recorded, I thought, this is such a good song, it should be the song of the year. But I was the only one that thought so, I think. But it was called Never Mind to Lose, and it was on my last album. Never Mind to Lose, yeah. And I haven't cut anything for a while. Never Mind to Lose. If you haven't got it, I'll send you down a copy.
Would you do that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. Do an MP3 file for me and email it down. I'll play it on air for you next week. That'd be lovely.
Okay. Well, if you just send me your information there, and I'll put it on, and you'll see why it was my favourite song. But I just love everything. I just heard Barbara Streisand singing with Anthony Newley on Barbara's new album.
Oh, you got that album?
Superb.
Yes.
Yeah. But then again, I love Merle Haggard, and I love Roger Miller, and all those people. So anything do you ever play of those, Leigh, I'm with you.
Col, what about a duo album from you? What a duet with Barbara Streisand yourself? Hey, have you ever contacted Barb?
I met Barbara. We brought her out to Australia. She did the first show she ever played out of America.
Yes.
And we did concerts around Australia with her. And she's not very tall. She wears little or no makeup. And she's a smart little cookie.
I was at that concert down at Etihad Stadium in Melbourne, where you're in row 4. Row 4.
Oh, no. Well, there you go. And she's come out with this new album, and my daughter went to see her the other day in Los Angeles. I think the seats were $700 each.
Goodness.
And but she said it was worth every penny of it. She had a great time. She said she's performing better than ever, and looks better and sounds better and everything like that, which is something, because she's been in the industry now for a few years as well,
That's
Leigh.
Right. In her 70s, 74, I think, isn't she now?
I think she is now, yes. And Barry Gibb, I spoke to Barry the other day from the Bee Gees. He had his 70th birthday.
We're all getting on, aren't we?
Well, see, most rock and rollers don't live as long as I have. I mean, I've done something wrong.
Well, you've looked after yourself.
Some days are diamonds.
Yeah, okay. All right. And boom.
Yes, I think I've been very fortunate, Leigh. I've had a great run, and I've had great family and support from a heap, and I've still got a heap of friends. I still see Sandy Scott I had dinner with last night.
Well, he's your brother-in-law, isn't he? Yeah.
Yes, and Patty I spoke to about 3 days ago, and Judy I spoke to yesterday, and so I still talk to and see a lot of them from people in the industry.
Well, I want to get hold of some of those people. Yeah, I want to get hold of some of those people from you. Sandy Scott, I'd love to chat to Sandy.
I can probably help you there.
Good.
Brian Henderson, we're having dinner tomorrow night. He's still doing well.
Yes.
Law's, we were going to have lunch on Monday, but he's cancelled. So yeah, I still see a bunch of the guys, and I still keep busy. I've still got an office that keeps me out of mischief.
You're a busy man.
I do as little as I can, Leigh, but there's certain things I've got to do.
You keep the mind active. Col, it's lovely to catch up with you. I'll email my address back to you again, and I'll get that MP3 file, and I'd love to chat to Sandy and little Patty, and even Judy for that matter. Love to get them on air as the weeks go on. Be great to catch up with them.
Okay, talk to me along the way, and thanks. It's good to talk to you, and have a beaut day.
Good on you, Col.
All your end.
It's pouring with rain down here. We've got winter back today. Yep. You got the sun, we got the winter.
Oh, I can sit by the pool today. It's beautiful up here.
Go away with you. See you, Col. Okay, bye, mate. Bye-bye.
Thanks.